Let's talk about something that can make or break your success in the workplace. Emotional intelligence, or EQ. It's not just about being nice or understanding. It's about handling stress, managing relationships, and reading the room, and navigating through conversations with finesse. People with EQ don't just work well with others, they lead, inspire, and influence in ways that can set them apart. This week, we're diving into how mastering EQ can help you build stronger connections, make smarter decisions, and handle workplace challenges like a pro. So whether you're looking to lead with confidence, communicate more effectively, or just create a more positive work environment, EQ, it's a game changer. Speaking of leading and communicating effectively, check out this week's thought leader. She's a TEDx speaker, founder and CEO of African Women in STEM, leader, mother, and a total difference maker. Let me be the first to say that this episode is packed with insights. You ready to level up? Let's get it, hustlers.
Hello, I'm Adeze Ilaje Udongalanya, the founder and CEO of African Women in STEM. I am a TEDx speaker and I am a leadership and strategy coach as well. I've worked in the energy industry for 20 years and by training, I'm a mechanical engineer. On the other side, I'm a daughter first and I'm a wife to an amazing man who supports all my shenanigans and a mom to 2 kids who keep me busy all the time. I love life. I love being curious. I love being creative. And I'm happy to just explore what happens every day. So for example, I love to dance, I love to cook, and I love to play. And the artistic side of me kind of adds to the STEM part, the engineering part, and makes me an entirely balanced individual. My inspiration came from my upbringing. So now currently I am the founder and CEO of African Women in STEM, where STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Growing up, my dad is a mechanical engineer, my mom was also in STEM adjacent program, and they always encouraged me to be everything I wanted to be. I used to watch a lot of sci-fi movies when I was a kid, and I loved all the space cartoons, and I decided I wanted to be an astronaut. That evolved to wanting to be a botanist because I figured I could travel around the world and discover exotic plants and animals, or exotic plants. And sometime later, I've decided I wanted to be a mechanical engineer because one of the biggest issues that we have in my country, Nigeria, where I'm from, is not having enough electricity to power our needs at home. And I wanted to be able to provide that for women, regardless of where they are, especially those in remote areas. So my dad is a mechanical engineer, like I said, and he did renewable energy stuff. So I figured out there's something called biogas, where you can use waste from your home to create electricity to power your home. So that's kind of where I started. So I worked in the energy industry, not necessarily doing renewable energies for so many years. And the goal still being serving people and making lives better for them. But as I grew and advanced in my career, my vision expanded. Because I'm a Black woman, an immigrant, a mom, and all of those things. And being a woman in STEM and having all these identities was very, very difficult. So I decided at some point that I didn't want anybody else to go through what I was going through. So that's when I had it in my heart to start African Women in STEM, to provide a community where people can grow, learn, be themselves, evolve, have access to things, get mentoring, and be more than people think they can be. So my vision evolved and I'm happy about where I am today. There was a time that I used to think that personal success was separate from professional success. I know how they say that hindsight is 20/20. I've had a 20-year career and I've had time to reflect and realize that they can't be different. Because the reality is that if you're not succeeding in your personal life, it's going to impact your professional life. If you're not succeeding in your professional life, it's going to impact your personal life. So right now, for me, success is one and the same, both for my personal and my professional life. So definitely, to be successful for me means, first of all, that I am okay. I'm doing well, I'm healthy. Because if you think about it, health is something that is personal to me. But if I'm not healthy and I end up sick in the hospital, I cannot do my work. So I have to be healthy first, I have to take care of myself, I have to be in a good state so that I can now, in my personal life, give to the people around me that I care about, and in my professional life, give to my work and the people that I serve in my work. So me, one, the people that my health, two, the people that I serve, three, being able to not have any divide or imbalance or my personal life affecting my professional life or vice versa in one way or another, to me is success. So when I'm able to be one human being, entirely happy, entirely satisfied, moving towards progress in life in general, to me, that's being successful. One of the biggest misconceptions about women in my industry, because I will adopt STEM as an industry as a whole, is that there are not enough women that are exceptional in STEM. And that, frankly, is not true. There are enough of us in STEM. Most women in STEM, just for the mere fact that they're in STEM, are obviously exceptional because it's hard to get in. It's hard to sustain success for as long as you are. It's hard to do that without a lot of support. But women have been blazing trails, making discoveries, helping companies succeed, being innovative, and just making the world a better place overall in the STEM industry. And what I love about now is that you just need to take a little bit of time and go on the internet and type it in Google, women in STEM, or if you want to make it easier for yourself, you can use one of the AI tools and just ask your question directly and you'll be given the information that you need. So I think it's about time we debunk the myth that women don't do well in STEM. There are not enough women in STEM that are successful, and there are not enough women in STEM that are contributing to the world being a better place. I am an expert. I worked for so many years. I was really good at what I did. And when I transitioned into entrepreneurship, I was like, I am an expert. I have all the skills. I have all this talent. I have all these services that I have to offer. And I'm going to hit the ground running because I have everything. Also, I thought. But again, I was an engineer, I was in leadership, but I worked for companies that had been around for so many years and had different departments that took care of different things. So one of my biggest setbacks was realizing that selling and marketing was not my strong suit. So yes, I had these programs, I had this talent, I had this expertise, but I didn't know how to sell them. It was very uncomfortable for me because it wasn't something that I did on a regular basis, and I had a totally interesting opinion about people who sold because it was almost like a used car salesman kind of thing. So that really helped me out because in reality, if you have a business and you're not selling, you're not making money and you're slowly gonna die. So I had to figure this out. So I started searching. I tried different things. I tried different mentors. I tried different coaches. I tried looking at different things online until finally I found someone that explained selling or sold in a way that was in alignment with who I was. Because again, you have people that are successful at what they do, but the way they sell is not the way I want to sell. So definitely how I overcame it was just making sure that I educated myself enough and trusting my intuition and figuring out who had the solution that I wanted. When I started my business, I thought that was the bravest thing I could ever do in my life. When I left my 9-to-5 and focused on entrepreneurship full time, I thought I could never go beyond this anymore. But I have actually. So just recently in my business, African Women in STEM, we just launched what is called a crowdfunding campaign. Crowdfunding campaigns are ways that startup founders raise money for their projects by essentially reaching out to the crowd. So the success of a crowdfunding campaign is a function of how many people get to know about my project, my mission, and support and contribute to the campaign. So I'm really excited to let you guys know about this. So if you visit our website, africanwomeninstem.com, you can see the page right there. It's an incredibly exciting page where I explain the problems that we are encountering, the solutions that we are providing in African Women in STEM to make sure that women are able to excel in STEM and that we're able to bridge the gap between talent and opportunity for African women in STEM. So please support my campaign. Go to our website, africanwomeninstem.com, watch my page, and support us to continue to create access for women in STEM to leadership position, access to mentoring, access to training and everything else that they need to succeed in their careers. So thank you in advance for supporting my campaign, and I hope to see you on the other side.
It's a good segue based off what you share with me, because now that the pandemic is behind us, right, and we can knock on wood, hopefully, another one around the corner. But now that it's behind us and more people going back into the office full time, I can only imagine like your services would be beneficial, because these organizations, they're trying to keep people in the office longer.
Right.
And part of that has to be with their fitness, because what I'm picking up on, if you're fit, it helps stimulate your brain power, which helps you with performance at the office. Is that
correct?
Right? Yeah, okay.
Correct. So that's a little thing, and we'll start to wrap up here on it.
Let's get into it. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, it's one of those soft skills that isn't just a nice to have, it's a must have if you're serious about leveling up at work. High EQ helps you connect with people, manage stress, and navigate challenges without losing your cool. So how do you strengthen EQ in a way that's practical and actually sticks? Step 1, self-awareness. It all starts with self-awareness. This means understanding how you're feeling in a moment and knowing why. When you feel stressed or frustrated, take a beat. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What triggered this? Recognizing your emotions is half the battle, and it lets you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting on impulse. Try checking in with yourself a few times throughout the day. It's a quick habit that goes a long way. Step 2, practicing empathy. Empathy is your superpower in the workplace. This isn't just about being everyone's best friend. It's about understanding where others are coming from. Next time you're in a meeting, focus on really listening to what's being said, what's not being said, body language, tone of voice, energy. These give you clues about how people are feeling. And when you take a moment to acknowledge someone else's perspective, even a simple, I get it, or I can see where you're coming from, it builds trust. Step 3, managing emotions. Let's be real, work can be stressful, but managing emotions is about choosing how you react, especially in tough situations. If you're in a stressful situation, if it comes up, try stepping away for a moment, taking a few deep breaths, or even writing down how you feel before responding. Giving yourself that space allows you to respond with clarity and calm instead of frustration. Remember, a clear mind makes better decisions. Step 4, building resilience. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from failure. It's about adapting to challenges without burning out. When things don't go as planned, practice reframing setbacks as opportunities to learn. Ask yourself, what can I take from this to do better next time? This mindset keeps you moving forward and helps you handle those ups and downs with a sense of purpose. Step 5, practicing self-reflection. Lastly, self-reflection, it ties it all together. Take a few minutes each week to think about how you handled interactions, stress, or setbacks. What went well? What could you improve? By making time to reflect, you'll start seeing patterns in your behavior, identifying areas for growth. It's not about perfection, but progress. So there you have it. Practical steps to build your EQ and bring your best self to work. Strengthening emotional intelligence isn't just a one-time fix. It's an ongoing practice, a habit. But trust me, the payoff is huge. You build relationships, better communication, and a reputation as someone who can handle anything with grace and resilience. So let's put these steps into action and make EQ a strength that stands out. Let's go.
Today, I want to tell you a story about Mia, a manager who turned an entire team around, not with power plays or big speeches, but with empathy. Mia worked in a high-pressure sales department where numbers were everything and stress ran high. Her team was talented but burned out, with people staying late and feeling like they could never catch a break. When Mia was promoted to manager, she knew she had two choices: continue with business as usual or try something different. She chose different. And the first thing she did was simply talk to her team, one-on-one, to hear them out. Mia didn't schedule big, intimidating meetings. Instead, she grabbed coffee with each team member, asking them about their challenges, their goals, and even what drained them the most. As they talked, Mia just listened. No judgments, no agenda, just real conversations. And what she found was eye-opening. People didn't feel supported. They were struggling with tight deadlines, constant changes in expectations, and a lack of acknowledgement for their hard work. One team member even said, "It feels like we're just numbers on a spreadsheet." Mia knew she had to change that feeling, so she started making small, empathetic moves. First, Mia worked to adjust deadlines wherever she could, allowing the team to breathe without sacrificing quality. Then, she introduced what she called Feedback Fridays. Every Friday, the team could come together and share wins from the week, whether it was someone nailing a tough client call or simply helping each other out. Mia even began taking 5 minutes to acknowledge each person's contributions at the end of the month. Her message was clear: you matter. As weeks went by, something incredible happened. Team morale went up, stress went down, and productivity soared. People started stepping up to help each other, collaborating in ways they hadn't before. They knew Mia had their backs, and because of that, they were willing to push harder, knowing someone truly cared about their well-being. Mia's story is a powerful example of what can happen when you lead with empathy. She didn't come in with all the answers, and she didn't need to. By simply listening and valuing her team, Mia created an environment of trust, respect, and genuine connection. And in that space, her team didn't just meet their goals, they exceeded them. Empathy might seem like a small thing, but in Mia's case, it made all the difference. It wasn't about making work easier, it was about making work meaningful, and that's the power of leading with empathy.
This week, let's focus on building emotional intelligence with one small shift each day. Emotional intelligence isn't about grand gestures. It's about making consistent, mindful choices to connect better, communicate clearly, and stay grounded. These tiny shifts will help you lead with empathy, handle stress better, and bring out the best in others around you. Day 1, active listening. Today, aim to practice active listening. In every conversation, give your full attention. Put away your phone, listen without interrupting, and repeat back a key point to show you've heard them. You'll be amazed at the trust this can build, even in small exchanges. Day 2, check your reactions. We all have knee-jerk reactions, especially under pressure. Today, focus on pausing before responding. When faced with a stressful or unexpected situation, take a deep breath, consider the best response, and avoid acting on the first emotion that comes up. This simple pause can help prevent misunderstandings and promote calm, thoughtful interactions. Day 3, show appreciation. Today's shift is about expressing appreciation. Pick one person, whether a colleague, a mentor, or even someone outside of work, and let them know specifically what you value about them. A few words of genuine appreciation can create a stronger, more positive bond, and it encourages those around you to keep showing up. Day 4, empathy in action. Today, take a moment to understand someone else's perspective, especially if it's different from yours. Empathy doesn't mean agreeing. It means acknowledging their experience as real. Try asking, "How can I support you?" This shows that you're invested in their well-being and willing to listen. Day 5, self-reflection. End the week with a moment of self-reflection. Think about any challenges or successes you had with EQ this week. Reflect on what felt natural and where you struggled. Jot down a few thoughts on how these experiences helped you grow. This practice strengthens self-awareness, making EQ feel like second nature. These daily shifts don't take much time, but they pack a punch. By practicing one small step each day, you're not only enhancing your own emotional intelligence, but also uplifting those around you. Keep these tips handy, revisit them often, and remember that EQ is a skill you build through consistent small actions.
Welcome to Health Hustle Chronicles, where the grind meets growth in the world of healthcare. This ain't your typical podcast. I'm here to shine light on the talent that's out there hustling every day. Introduce you to coaches who can level up your game and break down exactly how you can climb the ladder in this industry. Whether you're just stepping in or already in the trenches, I'm gonna give you the real deal on how to elevate beyond the road and claim what's yours. I'm talking about unlocking opportunities that seem hidden, finding leadership when it feels like no one's got your back, and building a roadmap to success even when the path ain't clear. From time management to battling self-doubt, lack of mentorship, to the struggle of getting noticed. I get it. I've been there. And I'm gonna bring you that hustle mindset with every episode, so you can take that next step towards career growth and wealth. If you're ready to go beyond surviving and start thriving in healthcare, then this podcast is for you. It's time to hustle harder, grow smarter, and elevate together. Let's get it, hustlers.